This is day 9, September 8th, Springfield to Cuba, Missouri. And our first stop is Becky's Barn. We're turning off of the newer Route 66 and onto the older Route 66 and taking the first right-hand turn up a gravel road to Becky's Barn. Becky's Barn is a gift store with an eclectic gathering of products that ranges from oddball medical items to 45 RPM records to 33 records to shirts, furniture, you name it. It's eclectic. They got a little bit of everything from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. I think there's some stuff that's a little lower than that too. But it's a good smattering of just about anything that would interest just about anybody that walked into the place. There'd be something there for everybody. And the owner of the place, there was a lot of BS in his talk, but he was still a nice guy, and we enjoyed the visit to the barn immensely. I also found that going to the barn at first, I was expecting something different, but what we got was actually quite nice. Because of the different items that you've got, and because of the oddball style of product, it actually kept us interested. I think we were there for probably about a little over a half an hour, and that's a long time to be in a small shop, and it's not a very big shop at all. It's about the size of a normal average house. One floor. There's me looking a little bit ragged from all of the rain and whatnot. We had rain that day. The rain went on and on and on everywhere we went, and of course me with my mighty wipers, or mighty wiper I should say, one wiper. That was a little something else. And here's the red brick road I was talking about. Well, the red brick road was put into place in 1920 to 30. This particular section was put in, I think from the readings that I did, was somewhere around 1928. So it's actually 6 years older than the car I was driving. So I'm driving an 82-year-old car, and you put two and two together and say to yourself, amazing that it's even been kept together. The maintenance they've done on it is mostly just painting the lines again by the looks of it. There's lots of little spots you can see where there's bricks missing. I guess they don't do much brick repair on roads anymore these days. And once you move down the road and you're going, it's got a bump and a grind going on with it. But it was really worth doing it. It was only 1.4 miles, and it was probably the neatest little section of road that I went on during the whole trip. Well, there was one more that was actually partially gravel, partially paved, and that was going down to Devil's Elbow. But that's in tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video takes us to a Devil's Elbow Inn and Bar, I think it is. Well, there's me grabbing the camera and moving it over because I didn't have a wiper to keep the windshield clean. So I thought, let's get a windshield clean in this damn windshield, because all of the video I knew was going to be terrible. Hopefully you can see the road a little bit better now. Makes it a little tough to drive down the road with the thing right in front of your face, though. Now the road ends up here just a little bit, and once it ends, then I zip forward a little bit, and we end up going to Litchfield. And in Litchfield, Ingrid and I went to a place called the Ariston Cafe. The Ariston Cafe is really a place to stop and have a lunch. If you're ever going to be in the area, I promise you'll enjoy the meal, and the owners are really special. It's family owned and has been for 100 years. Here's the Litchfield Drive-In, and I just sort of pulled in and then panned around so that you could actually see the entrance and the exit of the drive-in. There was a movie playing. It was Pete's Dragon, I believe, and there was some other one playing with it that was a newer movie. $5 entry fee for everybody. Children under 6 or something were free. No booze allowed, and you're not allowed to bring in cooking gear, so you're not allowed to cook in there. You got to go to their snack bar. They don't stop you from bringing food in. Of course, back in the old days when I was going to the drive-in theaters, I used to go to the Tilcom Outdoor Drive-In in Victoria, and we used to bring our friends in the trunk, and then we would all pile out. I can remember going in my friend Daryl's 1940 Plymouth P10 Businessman's Coupe, and man, you could get a lot of people in that trunk. That trunk was huge, and we'd sometimes go there, and there'd be 4 or 5 guys in the trunk, and then you had in the front of the coupe, you could move the seat forward, and then the guys could climb out, so you didn't have to wait until it got dark. You could just have 10 guys climb out of the vehicle without it looking like they were let out of the trunk. It was really cool. I don't think that the owner of the Tillicum Outdoor Theater was probably very happy with us, but that's okay. We did buy snacks and stuff while we were there, and we did usually bring a 6-pack of beer or something like that, as I'm sure many others did as well. See, the entrance here, as we're coming down in the entranceway, there's signs saying no alcohol and no etc., etc., etc. But we all ignored it. Everybody ignored it. And I'm sure it gets ignored here. I've got really, really nice pictures in the smile box that's got the same date as this in the photo gallery section on the main website. Just use the drop header photo gallery, and then you can go to the smile boxes for this date. And there's some pictures in there of the inside of the grounds itself, because I actually got out of the car at this point, walked in, took some pictures of the snack bar area from a distance and the screen to show the size. And you can see the screen on the right hand side there as we're exiting the grounds. From here we carried on to Henry's Rabbit Ranch. I have no video of that. And then we went on to Hamel, Edwardsville, Collinsville, Mitchell, and finally arrived at Missouri. And once we got there, we headed down the road to Eureka, Gray Summit, Stanton, Bourbon, and finally ended up at Cuba. Cuba, Missouri was a nice little town, and we booked into a place called the Wagon Wheel Motel. It was beautifully renovated, vintage, sheetrock, Route 66 motor cart. What else can you say? It had a fire pit and outdoor seating on the decks, had a gift shop, and next door to the Missouri Hick restaurant, which we availed ourselves of and went and had ourselves some food there the night of our arrival. And we were treated quite nicely at both places, the barbecue joint and the Wagon Wheel Motel. I enjoyed the trip of the day immensely, other than the rain. The rain was unceasing, and the next morning it came back again, just so that we could leave with a little bit of rain on a cleaned car. Can't win all of the time. Be nice if you could win some of the time. Anyways, tune in for day 10, which is Friday, September 9th. That's the Cuba to Carthage, Missouri trip.